For 104 years, Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church, affectionately known as the Boulevard, has stood as a beacon of faith, family, and forward vision in the heart of Memphis. From humble beginnings to a thriving ministry, the Boulevard has been a place where lives are changed, hearts are healed, and generations are empowered by God's love. Every person who walks through these doors carries a story, a testimony of grace, of growth, and of belonging. From our newest members to those who have been here for decades, each voice tells a story of what makes the Boulevard special. This isn't just church, it's home.
Well, I've attended Mississippi Boulevard for 69 years, and I've been a member for 59 years because I was baptized when I was 10.
Well, I am 28 years old, and I've been a member for 28 years, pretty much, yeah.
We joined the Boulevard, my wife and I, along with our son, in January of 2018, shortly after we moved to Memphis in 2017.
Mississippi Boulevard's love for children and love for teaching children to serve at an early age. I can remember when I was about 6 years old, at that time we had 2 offerings. And so the Sunshine offering was the offering that children would do. And I vividly remember Dolores Flagg and I, being 6 years old, swinging our patent leather shoes and ruffled socks, looking for an opportunity to serve and take up collection like the grown-ups did. Founded in 1921 by Dr. Joseph Walker, and being the first African-American church in the Disciples of Christ denomination, being the first African-American church to have air conditioning, being the first African-American church to have a brick structure. Also, we're special because of our community involvement, our efforts to feed the hungry, our efforts to make sure that the youth have an opportunity to meet their educational dreams through scholarship. And then, of course, our efforts, the efforts that are found by Dr. Turner in terms of the social justice initiative.
The sense of family, sense of community, I think is really appreciated, especially when you go off to school. You see, people are welcoming at other churches, but it's a difference when you can walk in and somebody goes like, hey, there's Dr. Dean, or someone always knows my name and will come up to me, give me the candy or anything like that. So it's the sense of family and community for sure.
Yeah, I'd say the fact that this is our home church, a home away from home, because we're not from the South, Midwest, and so I think the fact that this is the family that has been built for us here is what makes it special to me.
For more than a century, the Boulevard has been more than a sanctuary. It's been a cornerstone of community. From feeding families to mentoring youth, from standing for justice to showing compassion, the Boulevard has always been there, meeting needs and making a difference. In every generation, this church has lived out the call to serve, to be hands and feet of Christ in Memphis and beyond.
You know, because I've been here all my life, it has had an impact all my life. My spiritual development, my moral development has all been because of those who have been a part of this church and who have served I guess, put their arms around me and make sure that I knew that I was loved outside of my family.
The church has impacted me definitely through my spiritual journey, especially as a young adult. Many of us tend to find like our ideologies and our belief systems like on social media, but to have something like Mississippi Boulevard, just a pillar of foundation, support, really grounding, it has really made me appreciate Mississippi Boulevard.
So the church has made a huge difference in my life because I actually have a close friend now because of MBCC. My sister CJ is here, right? And so we've also been able to be aligned in writing a book, and just, I feel like my purpose has been fulfilled or driven even more since coming here. So to me, it's really been a shift in my life and what the Lord has for me in the future. So that's a big deal for me.
Here, faith is not just preached, it's practiced. The Boulevard is where hearts are open, souls are nurtured, and disciples are developed. It's where we learn to walk with Christ daily, to trust Him fully, and to see His hand in every season of life. For so many, the Boulevard has been the foundation of a lifelong journey with God.
So I think it's been very recent for me with the Real Discipleship series and the Follow Me group, because I never thought about how much you have to intentionally plan to disciple someone. So even though I've been a Christian, I gave my life to the Lord so long ago, and I have told people about Christ and evangelized. I know they're around, right? I know that I'm supposed to be looking and hearing and following the Spirit. But what stood out to me, and definitely is changing the way that I look at my spiritual journey, is being intentional about my neighbor who I see every day. Being intentional with that coworker who sits right next to me, right? They may know I know Christ, and that's good. But how am I planning to continue to tell them about Christ and hopefully see them with me in heaven one day? So that's been a big deal for me.
The story of the Boulevard is one of legacy. Faith passed from grandparents to grandchildren, from one era to the next. Families have worshiped here for generations, growing together in love, service, and devotion. This church has taught us to serve others, to give back, and to lead with humility. And as we look to the future, we pray that the next generation carries forward the same passion for people and that same love for God.
So my grandmother, I guess, first started as a member in the 60s, with my mom being a little girl. And then my dad actually came to Mississippi Boulevard in the 80s before he met my mom. And he's like originally from Nashville, same as Pastor, which actually Pastor's father, I think, baptized my dad. Yeah, so used to be his pastor. But they, so everyone in my family has always been a part of Mississippi Boulevard. My mom was pregnant with me at Mississippi Boulevard, got married at Mississippi Boulevard, christened, I guess, at Mississippi Boulevard. So it's gonna be a part of our lives for the rest of our lives.
My mother and father joined the church in the early 50s when they were married. And then my older brother, Don O'Connor, honed his musical and singing skills right here in the choir. And then I've been in the choir since I was 12. And my daughters developed spiritually under the leadership of Dr. Stacy Spencer. And they were recipients of scholarships, which helped them to go on and develop in their professional disciplines where they work now. My husband and I were the first couple that Pastor Jackson married in the 70s.
When asked to describe the Boulevard in just a few words, the answers say it all.
Steadfast, unmovable, and always abounding.
Authentic, innovative, and intentional.
Progressive, altruistic, and invaluable.
Community, comprehensive, and collaborative.
The Boulevard is not just where we worship, it's where we grow together.
Over the years, we've had ups and we've had downs. You know, we've had, for various reasons, we've had large attendance, and then we had attendance to dwindle. You know, and then it would come back up again, you know, throughout the years. But it puts me in the mind of Gideon. You know, Gideon had an army of 32,000 that dwindled to 300 men, real men that he could actually use to fight the battle. And he first sent those who were afraid home, and then those based on the way they drank water, you know. And I've come to realize it doesn't matter about the number of attendants. It matters whether or not you are doing what God tells you to do. So it matters not to put your trust in the number of men, but put your trust in what God says do, and the victory, we shall prevail because we have God on our side.
As we celebrate 104 years of ministry, we also look forward to the next chapter God is writing. A chapter filled with new voices, new visions, and new victories. We dream of a church that continues to reach hearts, transform lives, and expand its impact far beyond these walls. A church that remains a place of hope, healing, and transformation for all who enter.
I hope that the next generation carries that sense of community, that sense of family. It is still being carried now. I have a niece that's 4 years old and was able to do the Easter egg hunt. And I know me and my brothers used to enjoy that. So just the simple things that we've done, I would just hope that they continue those traditions.
I think we're already doing that. I think just by virtue of collaborating with other ministries and setting an example, kind of rewriting the template for what the church should be, right? Growing up, I remember the church that I attended when I was a child, it was kind of insular, right? We came, we did our thing, and that's really it. But I think if we can rewrite what's happening. Right now, people know about the Boulevard, right? They know what's happening. They know what we're doing because we're just kind of out there in front of everyone, right? So when there was tension, earlier on this year between some politicians, they had to have kind of a quiet, closed-door meeting. Where'd they have it? They had it at the Boulevard. When the tragedy of Tyree Nichols being murdered by Memphis Police Department officers happened in 2023, where did we have the funeral? We had it at the Boulevard, right? And so I think we're helping people to understand that church is something that's really out there. You can do church differently. It doesn't have to be this insular, quote unquote, spiritual experience, right? We need to be at the forefront of all these things.
For 104 years, the Boulevard has been a living testimony of God's faithfulness. And as we move forward, we remain committed to being a place where lives are changed, faith is strengthened, and Christ is lifted high. Because the Boulevard isn't just our church, it's our family. And together, we carry its legacy into the future.